Watch these two dogs do the dummy launcher. Each one of them, this is the morning, by the way, and the morning, you're more apt to see the dog sort of like as a coiled spring. What I'm saying is in the afternoon, we might not be using a leash with Leo. We might not be using a leash some of the time with Lola too. But right now we're using a leash in the morning. Don't let problems start. Your leash is to use. It's a training tool just to say my dog's doing it. And it's, you don't use a leash, your dog is going to start just cheating and going for the retrieve without permission. You need the dog to sit. You need the dog to stay. And start making the dog stay longer as you go. At first, you might release the dog real quick. You might even release the dog while the dummy's still bouncing. I'll do that with Leo because I don't want Leo. I want Leo to definitely get success. So if you wait real long and then the dog goes out there, they sort of get confused. In the beginning, absolutely. So take your time, be thorough. This is early in the morning. It's the first session, and Leo's extremely excited. He loves the dummy launcher. He is so excited. He's shaking, sort of like a bird dog that has a bird pinned down. So I'm putting the leash on him. That's what I'm saying. He's shaking. He's so excited because I want to make sure that we're successful here. So I don't want him to pop up out of sit. I'm reminding him that I have the leash on, right? And then we're gonna do it and see how excited he is. That's okay. He's just picking this up later this afternoon. He can probably do it off leash. When you first start training the dummy launcher, you'll be training with the dummy launcher because your dog is trained and is compliant. And you should have gone over gun shyness. You had to go over that because the dummy launcher makes an incredibly loud sound. Here's the second retrieve that I did with Leo. Same thing, I'm putting the leash back on him. I used the leash all through this session. It's a morning session. He's really amped up. See how he's like a loaded spring? But I don't want him to do that, but over time, he's learning this. See, I have the leash off him right now. And then I send him on his way. Watch this dog. He's real fast. He's a blast to work with. It's a very athletic, fast dog. It reminds me of he functions like a young retriever. Notice he didn't come right into heel. That's because it's morning. He's just, there he goes. A dog will function in the morning that's just doing, see that this I'm going to try and do without a leash because we were doing without a leash. Yes, see, he cheated. I did this because I knew he would screw up, and I wanted to make sure that you all understood why you need to keep using a leash with the dog. He can do it, but I pick and choose when he's doing it off leash at this point. So we'll put the leash back on him. He's just too amped up right now, and he just started doing this. He hasn't been doing it but a few days, So if your dog's gun shy, you're going to lose your dog. It'll flip your dog out. So you have to go over that. And you might start off like not using a leash and just getting the dog to go out there and get it. Make it like there's, all you have to do is run out there and find it. You might have to walk your dog. Here's our third retrieve. And look at his body. Look at how he sort of like crouches down afterwards. I don't like. See how springy he is? I want him to sit up. I want him to sit up and relax, and he will. He'll get more and more relaxed as he goes. By 4 days from now, he's going to be doing this awesome. He is. He's doing fine. Both these dogs are doing great with retrieving. Look at how quick he is. He'll be spinning into heel very soon, I'm sure, with the dummy. Yeah, here he comes. So he functions sort of like a young lab. That's what he reminds me of. Look at him. He's like, do another one. I'll sit. He's sort of become a butt kisser since he found out that we could do this. Notice how I'm putting the leash back on Leo. I'm putting it back on him. I'm being realistic. He screwed up once, and my gut says he'll screw up again because it's morning. In the afternoon, he'd have a tendency to be more tired, so he's not going to screw up. See a little bit of movement? That's fine. He wants to go. The leash is off, and then I send him on his way. They learn this quick. But they don't learn it by themselves, and that they don't learn it without you giving them instruction. Look at how fast this dog is. Look at how he pulls back into heel. Right? He knows. Well, he wasn't at heel perfectly, but he knows that if he gets at heel, I'll do it again. He has to play by the rules. You might have to walk your dog out there and help him find it at first, because it's going to cause confusion. And if you're using too high of power loads, that'll cause confusion too. Now here's the fourth retrieve. Notice I'm putting the leash back on. You got to do it. It's muscle memory. And we are getting, most of the time I might just do 3 retrieves if it's hot out or something, but it's nice and cool. So watch his, you can see his body. See how he is? He's coiled spring. I don't want that. I want him to sit up. He needs to relax like that if I'm going to release him. Now I'm going to start unhooking it, but I'm not making any noise. It's totally off now. It's totally off, and then I send him on his way. Let's see how long it takes him to get it. I'm sure he'll spin into heel with it in just a matter of seconds. He's not as fast as Tonka, but it's pretty close. Very fast-moving dog. There, see? He's into it. So I pet him on the chest. Good boy. And then I'm going to give him another retrieve. To do so, I'm going to put the leash back on him. Keep using your leash, people. I'm going to move the camera. Hang on. Here's the 5th retrieve. You could get a better idea of like what I'm doing with the leash. Like I that's up. That means sit. And then sometimes I'll do a little backward thing, right? Meaning don't go forward. Now, see, I want him to sit up like that. I'm not gonna let him go until he sits up proper. You think I'm being picky, but I'm not. I'm not being picky. The more controlling you are, especially with a dog like this, the better. If he was my dog, I would be giving him direction constantly, and I'd be really picky about how he functioned. And when he was around other dogs, I would know that he would screw up, because they will cause problems. So I would keep training. I would keep him sort of separate when I was doing training, and I do it for a longer period of time. Not that he can't function around other dogs, but if he's just running around the house with other dogs, he's probably going to screw up. So I'm real controlling with him. And that's how you have to be with some dogs. He's a high drive dog. Now I'm thinking I'm going to try this. And I see he has body language, so I'm like, no way, I'm putting the leash back on him. I think some of you all picked up on that body language that he was going to cheat. And all dogs are cheaters. So, once again, we're putting the leash back on him. I might use the leash the whole day. I could use the leash for 2 days or 3 days. Whatever. He's doing it fine. He does not have to do it off of a leash. You could keep using a leash and just making sure that the dog's rock solid. So notice how I give a little backward thing, a little bit of warning. Don't go forward. I want you to stay there. Okay, now I want him to sit up sort of straight and get sort of, chiller. The leash is off of him right now. And then I send him on his way. And then it'll take him a few seconds to bring the retrieve back in. He's a very fast dog. He's becoming very compliant. He's doing great. It's clear that he loves this. He loves this. Like, he does. Dogs love doing the dummy launcher. They love retrieving. That's why you never worry about if the dog's body language, it doesn't look like they're totally into it at first. They all can learn. You have to start using discipline and making sure that the dog sits for the retrieve. If you don't, you're just going to condition the dog to be a jerk. This is Lola's first retrieve of the morning, and you're going to see very quickly that she's very excited too. The dog in the morning, it's going to be sort of like the hardest, because they have all this energy stored up. So watch, she's going to screw up. I have a really, this dummy isn't going to go very far. It's a dud. But look at it. Look at what she does. She's just like, screw it. It's early in the morning. I'm just going to go get it. I'm going to cheat. She even forgets that she has a leash on. So I'm not going to let her go do the retrieve. It's the first retrieve of the morning. I don't want her thinking that she can get away with that stuff. So I go pick the thing up. Now I am purposely using some loads that are bad. That they aren't very good. They're not shooting it very far. but we were having real problems with her cheating and this excitement. So this isn't as loud. So she gets used to seeing the dummy, the dummy fly, and also some sound, but just not a lot of sound. But coming up, we're going to use the same loads that we were using with Leo. Now see how she's like the coiled spring too. But I make her wait, I make her sit. I'm telling you, tomorrow she'll even be doing it better. Both dogs. They're really picking this up quick. And she's really great. Now I want you to watch this. I've taught her to bring objects up high, right? Because she's small. So she's a service dog. She can deliver an object to your hand, but she can get up with that command. But she also has to sit too. The other thing that's noteworthy in this session with Lola is that she was having problems dropping the dummy, and so we stopped doing the dummy launcher for a few days, and we worked on some other stuff, and she's still sort of dropping it when she's coming in, but by the end of this session she's not dropping it, she's holding it the whole time, and I think she really gets the dummy launcher. So she gets, see how there's a little bit of movement? That's fine. We're not worried about that with either dog as long as they're staying. They're excited. We're using a leash so that we guarantee that we get success. See, she's when she has to carry that thing, it's lopsided. So she was having some, she's definitely holding it better, spinning end to heel. You know, at that time I told her to sit, but she could bring it up high if she wanted, if I ask her to, or sit. You should do, the owner should probably do both with this dog. So what we do here is I work her with these small loads first, because she just started reaching compliancy, meaning yesterday we were using some heavy loads and she was maintaining and sitting, and also the amount of excitability, like there's no like, you know, shaking with excitement, nothing like that, which we saw in the laundromat the other day. That's another reason why I pushed her through this yesterday. Like, she started becoming compliant with this yesterday. It was like, well, this is the most exciting thing for a dog, but the dog has to learn that being excited, that's not going to let you get the retrieve. You have to be calm before you go on the retrieve. Do you see the way that I put my hand out in front of her? I'll do that early on. Tell him, you know, it's a visual cue to the dog. It's a hand signal. I'll tell the dog, you know, don't go yet, dog. I'm blocking her from going. She's very happy with herself. She was doing that. She was being cute. She wasn't like, no, you can't have that. This is a great little dog. So I'm always, if you notice, the dogs are always at heel when I do this. They have to be. And the dogs have to sit. And as you teach the dog to do this, they start picking it up faster and faster. It's going to become more and more clear what is expected of the dog. Your leash should be your number one training tool. You should always use a leash, especially when you're training something like this. Let's see how she does. Okay, a little bit of movement, but pretty good. So I'm going to send her on her way, and then after this we're going to start using larger loads with her, the ones that Leo was using. Let's see how she brings it back in at heel. Look at this dog. This dog's a freak. This dog I can cast out in a field. She's picked up on casting. If she doesn't know where it is, because the dummy is going so far, she looks for direction. That's exactly what I want. It's beautiful. By making them sit for the retrieve, and you're using the dummy launcher, which is extremely loud, and a retrieve, it causes excitement. So if you can push that dog past that point of excitement, your dog will be calmer in other situations too. This is I'm using a medium power load here with Lola. This is a very long retrieve for a small dog. If she is having trouble finding it, I'll go out there and cast her into the area, which I like doing anyway. Here, heel. Sit. No, sit. No, sit. hang on. Lola! Now this will be interesting because the dog will stop because she's going to stop where the other dummy launchers were hitting with the real low load. It confuses them, so I cast her back further because she's not going farther back. That's extremely common, especially with the dog that has just started doing it. Another thing that is common with dogs that just start doing it is like don't throw it, don't use a dummy launcher and make it go too far. They'll get confused. They get confused on the way. So in that case, like you can let the dog go quicker. Just make it stay for a second and release the dog while it's still bouncing. I don't really have that option with Lola. Like she has to learn to use the leash. And it's going to go so far that, you know, it's going to be confusing to her. But see, I can cast her. I can give her direction where she's going. Whenever this dog doesn't know where it is, she turns around, stops, and looks at me. The dog could do field trials. It's no exaggeration. That's so much fun, casting with this little dog. Over here, baby. Here. You're fucking awesome, dude. You are fucking awesome. Now this is also real loud too. So we'll alternate. I'll give her another heavy one, a loud one, but then I'll work with the lighter loads too. She'll get used to it. She's fine. She's doing great. Here, heel. Heel. Put her back on the leash. I'm gonna, here, right here, sit. I'm gonna step out in front of her. No, no. Down, down. Down. She's having trouble. No, see, she's gonna pop out of down, I think. Go back up to sit. Sit. No, sit. See, you're seeing just a slight bit of movement when I use the dummy launcher. This dog is fantastic. It is. It's such a blast. Like, she's really picking up on it. Where like 2 days ago, she couldn't sit at all when you do the dummy launcher. She was just like, you know, it was just too much. She had to cheat. But you know, a day or two, it really doesn't matter. I mean, if you're doing this with your dog, there is no time frame. It's just whenever the dog picks it up. If you do it and then the dog starts cheating, you can put the leash on. Training a dog is like cooking chicken. When you think it's done, it's not. Cook it a little bit longer. See, I'm casting her right now. It went into an area that I don't think I've ever shot the dummy launcher. And she gets it, of course. She's awesome. This is the point where I noticed that she's holding it all the way. She's bringing it in and holding it. She picked it up. She's awesome. Let's do it again. Lola, you want to do it again? Let's do it again. It's awesome. Come here. 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 No, up here. Heel. Sit. About 4 of these retrieves would be plenty for this dog. Even when it's cold out, I wouldn't do any more with her. That's it. You know, those other ones were so short I don't count them. But this is a huge distance. Leo did 6, and I do like 4 with her. Like, look at how far that's going. That's very far. Look at how compliant she's getting.
Lola.
Look at her go. God damn, that's a good-looking little dog. It is. It's a great little dog. I'm going to cast her back. I say no, back. This dog could be. This dog. Somebody should. The owner hunts. The owner hunts and could take this dog to field trials. What happens is that the dummy lands on the ground. There's powder residue, and it confuses the dog when they first start doing this. She's got it right now. So, and they also have a tendency to go to the last place that they got to retrieve. So know that about your dog. She's got it. She dropped it once. You got this, right? Look, yeah, I see you. Come on. You're awesome. Look at this little freak. How awesome are you? You're real fucking awesome. You are fucking great. You're a great little dog. You're awesome, man. I wonder if I got another big one. See if I got another heavy duty load. I do. Should we do another one? I don't know who's funner, her or Leo. Leo's like this he's a super fast Aussie. Now granted, this morning it was amped up, so I was using a leash with him. But like yesterday no, leave it alone. Leave it alone, dude. I was using he was doing it without a leash. I knew it would be more difficult this morning. They're amped up after sleeping and stuff. So, but Leo is a super athletic dog that he functions like he reminds me of a retriever, a young retriever. Hauling ass to get it. Hauling ass. So is this little dog though. Right, Lola? Sit. You got this, sis. Sit. Hang on. Should we move this? Sit.
Watch this little dog. She's really getting this. She's getting more steady. She's figuring it out. A little bit of backward movement. It's fine. Taking the leash off. I'm not releasing her yet. I think it's off at this point. I'm not moving my hand away, but it was off. That little dog is a tiny little freak. She is. She's a tiny little freak. It's very long retrieves for a little dog. Don't overwork your dogs. You know, like Leo did six retrieves. She's doing 4, which is a question if she should even be doing 4. But don't overwork them. Put them up wanting to do it. Don't work them to the point of exhaustion. She just found it again. That's what I'm saying.
What's not to like?
But don't work them till they're exhausted. That's not the proper way to do it. Work them so that they want to do it more and more and more and build the dog up. But you never want to overwork them. And remember, if the temperature's over 70 degrees, that starts getting hot. Your dog, it doesn't cool down like you. It doesn't sweat. It has to pant. And if it has something in its mouth,
freaking awesome.
See what I'm saying?
What an awesome little dog.
Take it easy on the dog. Make sure that it's fun. And I'm telling her that she's just an awesome little freak right now. She knows I like her.
Damn. She's my favorite little tiny dog. She's my favorite tiny little dog that I'm training right now. That's what I was about to say. God damn it. What a little fucker. Wow.